You walk into a bright exam room expecting a quick check-in, maybe a pat on the shoulder and a polite, "See you next year." The fluorescent lights hum the same way they always do. The nurse takes your weight, you sit down on the vinyl chair, and for a moment everything feels ordinary. Then the doctor makes a small note, looks up from the chart, and says the sentence that rearranges priorities. Your numbers are high. It lands like a weather report you did not expect. Not immediate thunder, but the warning that a storm is building inside you. High cholesterol and high blood pressure are not dramatic the way a broken bone is dramatic. They do their work quietly, day after day, narrowing arteries and making the heart work harder, until one morning they show up as a heart attack or a stroke. They are, in plain terms, the two most important modifiable drivers of heart disease and stroke. The kind of statistics that read like shorthand for the reason people in midlife suddenly have to change everything about how they live. Here's what most people do not know. The body seldom raises a red flag with pain when cholesterol or blood pressure creeps up. Most people with high blood pressure have no symptoms at all. They feel fine. They keep meeting their obligations. They keep making plans. And yet inside their arteries, a slow, silent process is tightening the plumbing. That lack of immediate pain makes these problems especially dangerous. They are silent because the body tolerates the strain until it cannot. Now for the part that matters. This is not a helpless situation. The same quiet, cumulative process that created the problem can begin to unwind if you change what you eat and how you live. Scientific studies show that targeted dietary shifts, the kind of changes people can realistically make and keep, start to lower blood pressure and improve cholesterol in a matter of weeks, not years. Well-designed trials of dietary patterns like the DASH plan have documented measurable declines in blood pressure in as little as 2 weeks when people trade processed, salt and sugar-heavy foods for whole foods, vegetables, fruit, whole grains, and modest portions of lean protein. That is the biological good news. Your body responds quickly when you remove the things that keep it inflamed and stressed. That is why this video is focused, practical, and immediate. I will explain the 3 foods to stop eating now if you want to lower your cholesterol and bring down your blood pressure as fast as your body allows. I will explain in clear, plain language exactly how each food harms your blood vessels and your metabolism, why that harm shows up as higher numbers on a chart, and what to put on your plate instead that gives you the same satisfaction without the damage. This is not moralizing. It is medicine explained like a newspaper story, clear, evidence-based, and aimed at making change possible for people with busy lives, families to feed, and habits that are centuries in the making. You do not need perfection. You need information you can use. Picture your breakfast table on a quiet Sunday morning. The smell of sizzling bacon fills the kitchen, golden eggs on the pan, maybe a few sausages lined up beside them. It's the meal so many of us grew up with, hearty, familiar, and comforting. But the truth hiding beneath that nostalgia is brutal. Those thin, salty strips of processed meat are among the most efficient ways to raise your blood pressure and cholesterol at the same time. Processed meats like bacon, ham, hot dogs, and deli cuts are engineered for taste, shelf life, and texture, not for health. They're loaded with sodium to preserve color and flavor, nitrates to prevent spoilage, and saturated fats that stiffen the walls of your arteries. When you eat them, your bloodstream becomes a cocktail of compounds that stress your heart in ways you cannot feel. The sodium forces your body to retain water, pushing blood volume and pressure upward, while the saturated fat alters your lipid balance, increasing LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, and decreasing HDL, the type that clears arteries. Over time, this combination inflames the delicate lining of your vessels, setting the stage for plaque buildup and eventual blockage. Most people underestimate the scale of this impact. The Harvard School of Public Health found that just 1 serving of processed meat per day, roughly 2 slices of bacon, was linked to a 20% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. 20%. That's the difference between an ordinary life and one cut short by a disease that could have been avoided with a single morning decision. The irony is that these foods do not even satisfy your hunger for long. The quick surge of flavor comes with a crash, a metabolic response to fat, salt, and preservatives that leaves you craving more within hours. It's not willpower that fails, it's biochemistry designed to keep you hooked. The companies know this. They craft the perfect ratio of salt and fat to make your brain light up, a laboratory version of comfort that hijacks your reward system. Replacing these foods isn't about punishment, it's about liberation. If you crave that smoky taste, try turkey bacon made from lean cuts and cooked in an air fryer, or use smoked paprika to season scrambled eggs. Your taste buds won't know the difference, but your arteries will. Swap deli meats for roasted chicken breast or lentil patties. They deliver protein without the sodium overload. Small changes like these can start to lower your blood pressure within weeks. And while you make that first swap, keep listening, because the next food hides behind a mask of health. It's in products that claim to protect your heart, but quietly fuel the inflammation that destroys it. If the first food wears the mask of comfort, the second one wears the mask of health. You've seen the labels: heart-friendly, cholesterol-free, light. They sound reassuring, but behind those shiny promises lurks a type of fat that silently keeps your arteries inflamed. Refined vegetable oils like soybean, corn, sunflower, and safflower oil. These oils were once marketed as miracles, modern replacements for animal fats that would keep hearts healthy. But as nutrition science evolved, something unsettling appeared in the data. These refined oils are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, which in small amounts are essential, yet in large amounts become inflammatory fuel for the body. Most people today consume up to 20 times more omega-6 than omega-3, the ratio our ancestors lived with. That imbalance feeds a quiet fire in the bloodstream, encouraging oxidation of LDL cholesterol and damage to the endothelium, the thin inner lining of your arteries that keeps blood flowing smoothly. Here's the part that surprises people. It isn't just about fried foods. These oils are everywhere. They hide in salad dressings, store-bought sauces, chips, cookies, breakfast cereals, even protein bars labeled organic. Every tablespoon adds more instability to your cardiovascular system because when these oils are heated or refined, they create reactive compounds called aldehydes, toxins that travel through your bloodstream and harm cells in ways scientists can measure. Your body isn't defenseless, but it can only repair so much before the balance tips. Over time, the constant exposure contributes to hypertension, clogged arteries, and higher triglycerides. What was supposed to be healthy oil becomes the background music to chronic inflammation. The fix, thankfully, is simple and delicious. Use extra virgin olive oil, rich in polyphenols that actively protect your arteries. Choose avocado oil for cooking. It tolerates higher heat without oxidizing. Coconut oil, in moderation, can also be stable and flavorful. The goal is not to eliminate fat, but to choose fats that your body recognizes and can process without stress. If you're following this video and starting to see how these small choices build into real change, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. This community is about learning how the smallest shifts, the kind that start in your kitchen, can save lives. Every week we share new research and simple habits that help your body heal naturally. And remember, subscribing is free, but the knowledge could be priceless for your health. It's morning. You pour a cup of coffee, maybe add a spoon of sugar, maybe two. You grab a slice of toast or a muffin, a glass of orange juice. It feels harmless, a small, sweet moment to start the day. But what sits on that breakfast table is the third silent enemy: refined sugar and white flour. Together, they are the most common and the most underestimated culprits behind rising cholesterol, blood pressure, and the exhaustion that follows people through their days. Let's break the illusion. When you eat sugar or refined carbohydrates, your blood glucose spikes within minutes. The body reacts by releasing insulin, the hormone that pulls glucose out of your bloodstream and sends it into cells. That sounds efficient, but over time, repeated spikes create insulin resistance, which forces your pancreas to work harder. That resistance keeps insulin levels high, and high insulin does two things you don't want. It tells your kidneys to retain sodium, raising blood pressure, and it tells your liver to produce more triglycerides, increasing the fat circulating in your blood. In short, every donut, every pastry, every spoonful of white rice is quietly programming your metabolism to work against you. Sugar also damages your arteries directly. High glucose levels oxidize LDL cholesterol, turning it sticky and more likely to cling to arterial walls. It's not just fat that clogs your arteries. It's the combination of sugar, inflammation, and oxidative stress. That trio creates the perfect storm for atherosclerosis, the slow narrowing that eventually leads to heart attacks. And what's worse, these foods are addictive. They light up the same reward centers in your brain as drugs do, making your body crave them more the moment the rush fades. Most people don't realize how many foods contain hidden sugar. It's not just desserts, it's pasta sauce, bread, yogurt, cereal, even ketchup. Food companies use more than 50 different names for sugar on ingredient labels to disguise how much you're actually eating. And refined flour behaves almost the same way in your body. Once it's stripped of its fiber, it digests as fast as sugar, giving you the same metabolic chaos without the sweetness. Now you might be thinking, but isn't life meant to be enjoyed? Absolutely. The goal isn't to remove joy from food. It's to replace the substances that drain your energy with the ones that restore it. Instead of refined flour, reach for whole grains, oats, quinoa, barley. Replace white bread with sprouted grain bread. If you need sweetness, use fruit. The fructose in an apple or a handful of berries comes packaged with fiber and antioxidants that slow absorption and protect your arteries. For coffee or tea, use stevia or monk fruit. They don't raise blood sugar and still satisfy the craving. Here's what's remarkable. Studies show that when people remove added sugars and refined carbs, their blood pressure can drop within just 10 days. 10 days. The body begins to recalibrate almost immediately. Insulin sensitivity improves, triglycerides fall, and inflammation markers begin to decrease. The process is visible, measurable, and empowering. You don't have to be perfect. Start by eliminating the obvious sources, soda, packaged snacks, desserts, and replace them with real foods that don't need an ingredient label. Think of it not as restriction, but as permission. Permission to feel clear, calm, and energized again. Because when you stop feeding your body what weakens it, it starts to repair itself. And that's where we're heading next. You've seen the villains. You've learned what to cut. Now it's time to understand how your body can heal and reverse the damage, sometimes faster than you'd ever imagine. Your arteries are not lifeless pipes. They're living tissue, flexible, sensitive, and capable of renewal. The same biological machinery that once responded to years of poor food choices can, with the right nourishment, begin to reverse that damage. That's the beauty of human biology. It's always looking for balance, always trying to heal. When you remove processed meats, refined oils, and added sugars, your body instantly reduces systemic inflammation. The endothelium, the delicate lining inside your arteries, starts to recover. Blood flow becomes smoother, and nitric oxide production increases. Nitric oxide is the body's natural vasodilator. It relaxes and widens your blood vessels, allowing blood pressure to drop naturally without medication. Harvard researchers and cardiologists from the Cleveland Clinic have shown that within just a few weeks of adopting a clean, plant-rich diet, people experience measurable changes in their cholesterol profiles. LDL levels drop, HDL rises, triglycerides decrease, and blood pressure stabilizes. Some patients even reduce or eliminate their medication under medical supervision, not through magic, but through consistent nourishment. So, what should fill your plate? Think of color and texture. The deeper the color, the higher the concentration of antioxidants. Oats, rich in beta-glucans, help the liver remove excess cholesterol from your bloodstream. Leafy greens like spinach and kale contain nitrates that relax blood vessels. Fatty fish such as salmon or sardines provide omega-3s that combat inflammation and restore the healthy fat ratio your heart craves. Nuts, almonds, walnuts, pistachios deliver magnesium and plant sterols that naturally lower LDL. And berries, those small bursts of flavor, are packed with anthocyanins that protect blood vessels from oxidative stress. It's not about dieting, it's about aligning with biology. Every forkful can either add pressure to your heart or remove it. You don't need to count calories. You need to count the number of foods on your plate that your great-grandparents would recognize. That's the simplest way to tell if it's real. Hydration matters too. Water helps kidneys eliminate excess sodium, reducing pressure. And even small amounts of movement, a daily 20-minute walk, amplify every dietary benefit. Think of food as the blueprint and movement as the spark that makes it work. For anyone watching this and thinking, "I've been eating this way for decades, it's too late," let me be clear, it's never too late. Studies on patients in their 60s and 70s show significant improvement in heart function after dietary changes. The body never stops responding to kindness. And this is where your journey turns from awareness to action. You now understand the foods that harm you, but also the science that can heal you. In the next part, we'll go one step further, beyond food, to uncover the lifestyle factor that multiplies every benefit you've just learned about. It costs nothing, requires no prescription, and might be the missing link that accelerates your recovery. By now, you understand the villains. Processed meats that poison your arteries, refined oils that ignite inflammation, and sugars that hijack your metabolism. You've seen how quickly the body can respond when you remove these foods, and how powerful the shift can be when you replace them with real nourishment. But there's one more layer to this transformation, the mindset that keeps it alive. Change isn't about restriction. It's about liberation. The first few days without bacon or pastries might feel uncomfortable, not because your body needs them, but because your brain is wired for routine.
Food is emotional, it's culture, it's comfort, it's memory. When you stop eating what you've eaten for decades, you're not just changing your diet, you're rewriting a story that's been running quietly in the background since childhood. That's why real transformation begins in the mind before it shows up on a plate. Science backs this up.
Studies from Stanford and Johns Hopkins show that people who approach lifestyle change with a mindset of addition, adding better foods, adding small walks, adding moments of rest, are far more successful long-term than those who focus only on cutting things out. The reason? The brain thrives on reward, not punishment. When you frame your new choices as gifts rather than sacrifices, your motivation stays alive. So start small and celebrate every shift. Each time you say no to the processed, the fried, or the sweet, and yes to the fresh, the colorful, the whole, you're not just lowering your cholesterol, you're extending your life. You're protecting your heart for the people who love you. That's the real why. And there's another layer few people talk about: stress. Even the perfect diet struggles to repair a body constantly flooded with cortisol, the stress hormone. Chronic stress constricts arteries, raises blood pressure, and blocks fat metabolism. You could eat perfectly, but if you live in constant tension, your numbers won't improve as fast as they could. Here's where the simplest medicine comes in: silence. Just 5 minutes a day of slow breathing, walking outside, or listening to calm music triggers your parasympathetic system, the body's built-in relaxation switch. That single habit can lower systolic blood pressure by 10 points or more in just weeks. 10 points, the difference between high and healthy. It's never one miracle food or one supplement that heals. It's the combination of calm, clean nutrition, and consistent movement that gives your heart the chance to recover. You don't need to run marathons or buy expensive health gadgets. You just need to eat clean, move daily, and breathe deeply. That's it. The most powerful medicine is still free, and it's within reach right now. Imagine this. It's 3 months from now. You walk into the same doctor's office, sit in that same vinyl chair, and wait for the results. The doctor glances at your chart, raises an eyebrow, and looks at you with genuine surprise. Your numbers are down, Not a little, but a lot. Blood pressure normal. LDL lower. HDL higher. You didn't just avoid medication. You built the kind of discipline most people only talk about. You feel lighter, your energy steadier, your mind clearer. The headaches that used to come after salty meals? Gone. The swelling in your ankles? Fading. You're not chasing diets or fads anymore. You've built a way of living that feels sustainable. And maybe most importantly, you've proven to yourself that change doesn't depend on luck or genetics. It depends on knowledge and consistency. Here's the truth. The body rewards patience. Every cell in your arteries, your liver, your heart, they regenerate. Every heartbeat is an opportunity for renewal. What you feed your body today becomes the foundation of who you are tomorrow. So if this message has reached you, if you've been feeling that quiet pressure to take control, to protect your future, to be around for the moments that truly matter, this is your moment. Start with one meal, one habit, one choice. Because each of those choices stacks up quietly until one day you realize your body isn't fighting you anymore. It's thanking you. And if this video helped you understand how your food choices shape your health, take a second to subscribe and join this growing community. Every week we share research-based insights, heart-healthy recipes, and simple strategies that actually work. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Together, we're building a movement where aging doesn't mean decline. It means mastery. Remember this: the same body that once struggled to keep up can still surprise you with how fast it heals when given the chance. Your arteries want to open. Your heart wants to rest. Your blood wants to flow freely again. Give your body that chance, and it will meet you halfway. Because health isn't about punishment. It's about peace. Peace in your blood pressure, peace in your heartbeat, and peace in knowing you took control when it mattered most. Now go, clean out the pantry, and make that first small change. The results won't take years. They'll begin in days. And one day soon, when you look in the mirror, you'll realize something powerful. You didn't just lower your cholesterol, you raised your standards for life.